Hello and welcome. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, broadcasting from the center of your entertainment galaxy. We are back with the Season 2 premiere of Star Trek Adventures Aegis. This is our 22nd century campaign, set in the era of the later seasons of Enterprise, and indeed we've just hit a milestone. We've rolled around to 2155. Before we get going, there will be varied shoutouts live in the Twitch chat and in the description of the video here, so please do check out some of the folks here, such that they have their own projects and whatnot. One final note, for those catching this in the recording, this marks our first year since we've made affiliate on this channel, and that came through everybody that comes in to watch this and the Broken Sword campaign live, so thank you all so much for it, sticking around, for giving my nonsense a chance, and for following here. These are slightly weird stories that I've gone with in some ways, but I really appreciate that everybody even gives it the time of day, and I just hope that you are all enjoying what we've done and what we have to come.
This is Solar System News Network with Nicolette Lidell, broadcasting at 5 p.m. GMT Seoul on September 2nd, 2154, with these updates at the top of the hour. The Provisional Governing Council of Alpha Centauri has rejected talks with United Earth over political union, with current Council President Roger Oleet warning against military action.
While the circumstances were not ideal, the people of Alpha Centauri have chosen that they wish to decide their own destiny. The galaxy has seen its share of bloodshed and struggle, and we will not seek it out. But that does not mean we won't defend our independence.
Alpha Centauri has been independent since May of last year, after Earth-appointed Governor Christopher Slocum illegally seceded from United Earth control. The crisis drew involvement by a fleet of Tellarite ships, but a Starfleet mission successfully apprehended Slocum and forced their departure. The provisional government, led by the son of the jailed activist Titus Oleet, received security guarantees from Vulcan. A communications blackout lasted until early December, when the Vulcans withdrew under its Babel Treaty obligations. Since then, public reports indicate the Centauri have constructed a number of armed vessels. Representatives from Starfleet and Mako have not offered comment on any discussions.
An Earth-led team of third-party inspectors in the Vulcan capital of Shi'Kar have certified progress on Babel Treaty compliance. Negotiated with human mediation, the peace agreement between Vulcan and Andoria placed caps on fleet sizes and established reparations between the powers. First Minister T'Pau, who assumed office after the sudden departure of the Vloss administration, declared a ceasefire in October. Since then, her administration has demobilized the High Command and continues decommissioning their fleet. Precise casualties remain guarded by both powers, but United Earth estimates suggest 50% of the Vulcan High Command starships and around 85% of the Andorian Imperial Guard vessels were destroyed in the 3-month conflict.
Prime Minister Samuels is facing criticism from opposition in the Order and Prosperity Alternative Party. Member of the Earth Parliament, Horace Sullivan, launched a scathing set of attacks against the Prime Minister, particularly after his proposal to invite local powers to trade talks.
Samuels, the man who lost Alpha Centauri, who let the Xindi take 7 million human lives, and who has slow-walked fleet expansions and left our colonies and freighters high and dry. He now wants us to absorb the alien masses out of some naive belief in building friendships. Let us build these worlds by our own hands.
The party has garnered a number of small defections and criticism for charges of xenophobia, but polls show that they are likely to pick up seats in the next election. Among leading causes, respondents cited fears after the Xindi attack, the Centauri crisis, and the recent Vulcan-Andoria tensions as major issues. This also follows a worrying trend of anti-alien sentiment and attacks in the Sol system. Prime Minister Samuels, meanwhile, is marking the first week of the new year with commendations for Starfleet officers. This morning in San Francisco, he will be attending an awards ceremony for officers aboard the starship Aegis. The Starfleet officers and crew received general citations for bravery after rescuing Tellarite ambassador Gorabim Gral after a catastrophic accident in November.
We come into San Francisco on a brisk January morning. You have been back on Earth for some weeks as the year closed out. Everyone is a little more hopeful that you can get past the grim events of the last year. This morning does start off with a much more pleasant situation, a pleasant routine for you. Have been called here by and large to receive commendations for your actions over the course of the past year. You get the exterior shot of Starfleet Command. You are all gathered in one of the larger free sort of conference spaces, somewhat dressed up with appropriate flags and honors all about. Officers from various parts of Mako and Starfleet are all properly represented, all in dress uniforms. All of you are, of course, front and center, alongside many members of your crew that have come to join the ceremony here. Numerous familiar faces around the crowd, of course, some with mild decorations of their own. You would make out the likes of Vincent Connolly and Crichton, Chief Justice.
The real hero.
Yes. Chief Fernier, of course, Nurse Marple, other supporting characters that you've come to know and love over the course of your first season of adventures, as well as others who maybe you just haven't spent as much time with, but they have all done their bit. There are some absent friends amongst the bunch, Lieutenant Commander Romanov in particular, who is nonetheless very busy with important work, making sure that the Aegis is in good condition. But also among the group here are a number of fairly senior officers, many of whom, particularly for you, Colonel, that you would very quickly recognize and have feelings for. All of you would recognize a lot of these faces as well. Of course, Admirals Forrest and Gardner have both made an appearance, as well as Director Mitchell from Starfleet Intelligence. Actually, it occurs to me, Horn, you would not be in this bunch here. No offense here, but...
I know none of you.
Yes. Sound like so. Yeah, all of you have gathered together, just in wait for everything to more or less come together. To an extent for the GM's mess to clear up, because things did not want to initially work. But sure enough, time passes and the festivities continue, until finally, making his appearance, one Prime Minister Nathan Samuels enters in. The ceremony is relatively short. The Prime Minister doesn't keep you too long for speeches, but does wind up taking time to, of course, present each of the senior staff individual lighter service commendations. Then particularly rounding his way to two of the crew. So, first and foremost, he will stand before the ship's captain. Of course, many of these great deeds over these past months would not have been possible without careful direction and calm but brave leadership. Colonel Lillian Sharp, as captain of the starship Aegis, you have accomplished many a trial, many a unique goal, all whilst maintaining your composure in the highest spirit of both services, in which you have shown a remarkable adherence. It is for that reason that I present you with the Havelock Cross. And in this, you are going to receive the equivalent of the Star Cross Medal as he pins a silver with slight gold inlaid medal to your uniform there. in recognition of your many unique feats and many accomplishments. And with that, he'll extend out a hand to clasp yours, Captain.
She will firmly and curtly take it and give it a firm shake.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
He is very careful to make sure that he gets a good angle with you, him smiling, as there are a lot of cameras about. Like an amount of cameras that all of you probably haven't seen arrayed in a single place. And I imagine under the lighting it's also a bit warm. Shira, it is not particularly fun here.
Sure it isn't.
The second award, however, marks a single deed of excellence in their field. Prime Minister Samuels continues, and in particular, a most remarkable achievement in medicine and in a task that may well have done a great deal to further our peace between humanity and our new growing friends, the Tellarites. For that, Dr. John Lambeth, we give you the Distinguished Service Medal in Medicine in recognition of your heroic efforts to save the life of the Tellarite Ambassador Grawl. And he will take a separate medal and pin that to your own uniform. Once again, offering the hand and making sure now the cameras are focused on him, and most especially you.
Yeah, I think he takes the hand quickly. Mutters a quick, well, thank you, and walks off, kind of trying to keep the moment as short as he can.
Yep. Samuels doesn't let you get away too quickly, but the lighting does. He makes sure he gets his adequate shots. Something else to go in a later newscast that will be produced in universe, but not here. Yes.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Actually, it starts as a genuine kind of sincere smile and thank you, and as he's doing it, and then the moment he realizes he's being held for a moment too longer, a bit longer for press conference sort of thing, he turns to camera and puts on the broadest, most obvious fake smile that you can do. He just makes it smiles entirely with his mouth, not with his eyes. Just makes it look completely he's obviously being held, kind of being held hostage, I guess.
Fair enough. Yep.
Just just that little bit of yeah, sure, we'll I'll pose for your photos, but my heart's not in it, and because that kind of thing.
Oh, with a final pat to your back, he will stand aside and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, the officers of the starship Aegis," and start in with a round of applause, both of which comes fairly raucously from crew and junior officers that have joined you here, and some others from the remaining brass and other attendees. But with that, the awards break up, and all of you are allowed to go about and mingle with each other. So, let us see here. I know there is at least one scene that we have to do while we are here. Properly there are two scenes, one of which will take us into hindsight. I'll tell you what, as the people receiving the awards here, Sharp, Lambeth, I'm going to ask you to both roll me a single D20. The lowest roll will have the first encounter. We run the we run that little homebrew rule here, so We have a... Looks like a...
Well, we definitely know who's going first then.
Yep. So, Lambeth, you start breaking off in a bit of a daze as you receive congratulations. And no, don't you worry there, Drone. These don't complicate unless you want to be later on in the role. But yes, the officers break off. Everything kind of becomes a bit more of a crowd. There's probably at least some beverages being served throughout, although I suspect it's a bit early in this morning for anything too strong. It's between the lights and the constant go of the cameras. It's quite a bit there. You do actually have some journalists try to make your way up to you, Ben, and are like trying to pester Dr. Lambeth for some sort of information and like following up questions, asking like it's all kind of incoherent things about how are the how the experience was with the Tellarites, what what are you looking at in the future, would you go back to would you go back to do more, or do you think that Starfleet should be doing more humanitarian work? Like just a lot of things that a lot of serious questions like that, maybe a few stranger ones in the mix. It's all just kind of a blur.
Yeah, I think he gives probably like very non-committal responses to things, and like quick offhand ones, and then moves on. Probably a lot of no comments, or like, I'll respond more later or something like that.
Indeed. So, amidst all of this, there is one more sort of determined figure making it through the field, I'd say in your peripheral vision. And I stress here, this is where, at this point, Panda, I am addressing you as Panda, just to be clear with the question.
That is fine. It's going to be really weird, but it's fine.
So all that said, Peter, this is about where your character would make out the doctor that has just been given the big shiny award. So, if you could tell me how would you say that you are trying to maneuver or cut your way through the crowd as the officers are making their way down the stage?
I assume it's quite crowded at the moment.
Hold on just one moment. I think that the mic issue might have corrected itself, but now I've left your volume too low, so I'm going to fix that.
You're really low now, my friend.
Yeah, let me fix that.
Excuse us for some technical difficulties.
Yes. All right. Got you back up to 100% now. Try again.
How does this sound? Better?
You're
Still
still
very quiet.
your mic. It's on your mic, Peter.
Yeah, I think some of you may have to turn up your volume on me.
Here, I'm going to boost you up to 180%.
All right, that hopefully that will be okay. Does that sound better, Zach? Or
196, and I think we're good.
okay. So everyone, please set your comm beads to no. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. Wrong universe. So a Denobian, which Dr. Lambeth might notice, is very carefully like he's making his way towards you, but in the sense of like he's keeping his hands very close to himself, and he's trying his very best not to touch anyone. Not in the sense of, oh, I'm just trying not to bump into you, but in the sense of, please don't touch me, or I will die.
Okay.
Starts making his way up to you, and eventually, once he gets into some visual range, sort of straightens up a bit more. Just as you can see, he's obviously a Denobian, has the familiar ridges, sort of very wide smile on his face. Fairly tall, quite lithe. Looks at the doctor and goes, Dr. Lambeth.
Yes. Can I help you?
Yes, my name is Xantar. I am with the Denobulan Medical Volunteer Force. Um, I will be. I hoped to make your acquaintance before during this ceremony, and holds out his hand to shake yours. But just before he does so, he has this little spray bottle on his belt, which he quickly gets out, sprays on his hand, then offers the hand to you. It's just an antiseptic, sir.
Right, no problems. Good to meet you. He'll reach out his hand and give a much firmer and more genuine shake than he gave to the politician.
Thank you, sir. I was hoping to meet you before my next assignment, as it is my people have assigned me to the Aegis. I will be joining your medical team.
Oh, well, that's excellent news. I'll be glad to have someone of your caliber aboard, I guess. What are your qualifications exactly?
My specifications are in virology, infectious diseases, but I also have specialty in fields of trauma and xenobiology.
That's good.
Oh, yes.
Xenobiology is the thing especially that I'm maybe not the best equipped for. I've been trying to pick things up, but I could definitely use your assistance with that. I mean, honestly, I'm more of a practical kind of doctor myself.
Understandable. I've put most of my theories into practice with being in the medical volunteer force. So.
Yeah, I imagine it would. I mean, I haven't had much experience with denobulans, but I've seen the odd one around. Yeah.
There are few that are scattered around your in Starfleet. We haven't quite made our way into any of the officers' ranks just yet.
No, well, hopefully you'll be the first, right?
I was hoping so, but I know there are a few other Denobians. I believe there's one of my kind aboard your flagship, the Enterprise.
Oh, right. Well, I guess he probably gets the first shot then. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's quite all right. He's done quite a bit, actually, to open up the field to the rest of us. I'm hoping that I can help continue that work.
Well, yeah, that's good for you.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to say I look forward to working with you and look forward to working aboard the Aegis.
Yeah, likewise. Be good seeing your work in action.
Thank you, sir. May I get you a drink or something?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not busy now. Yeah, I don't know where you've got in mind.
There's a passing waiter with like a tray full of fancy champagne-looking flutes and.
Xantar will sort of grab them as he's sort of walking past. It's like, boom.
The tray or the whole, or just the individual glasses?
Individual glasses.
Fair enough. Any spraying beforehand?
Yes. It's almost seamless. Like he's practiced this over a long time, and he's found ways to like spray it in ways that you like so smoothly.
Yes.
Like it's second nature.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. You go, oh, thank you. And he'll take this probably quite fancy drink a little suspiciously, but like he'll grab it from your hand in a way where he's not actually touching your hand or anything like that. So kind of and just like grab it and examine it a little suspiciously and have a quick drink and then kind of probably not drink much more from it.
I can assure you, sir, that the antiseptic is not harmful to humans.
Oh no! I just thought you were quite a germ conscious for.
It's a psychological.
You wouldn't want to be. I mean, I appreciated the handshake and all that, but if you want to avoid physical contact, I'm all good with that.
I studied up on human culture and figured it was polite. And considering my race are quite diplomatic as it is something that I've developed to help deal with my psychological condition, as it would be called.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sounds like it doesn't affect you much in your medical
Not at all. In fact, it's
career. So, if you're not worried about getting into people's insides.
Not at all. In fact, most people's insides are actually far cleaner than they think, and far dirtier in others where they think that it isn't.
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong there.
But it's helped with me being in my specialized field of virology and infectious diseases.
Oh yeah, you probably know. You've probably got a lot more reason to be worried about germs than I do. Though actually, no, I do wash my hands, so I'm good on that front. I know I'm sometimes not the most well-kept individual, but I do keep up with the basics.
I would imagine so, being a doctor of your astute standing. But either way, I'm happy to assist around the medical bay and keep making sure it is staying sanitized up to the proper procedures so that everything goes smoothly in sick bay.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, thanks. I'm not. Yeah, I don't worry about pushing the whole medical officer of your standing thing. I appreciate it, but we're colleagues. You don't have to worry about the whole reputation thing, anything like that. Just call me Danny, I guess, if you need a. Don't bother with the whole Dr. Lambeth thing. If we're going to be colleagues.
Very well, Danny. I will endeavor to do so. I look forward to working with you.
Likewise.
Oh.
So, tell me,
And
I can kind of tell from the standing on stage, you weren't exactly pleased with the photographing, as far as
I don't like politicians. Makes me a
Understand-
weird fit for a ship like this, Starfleet kind of job, but I'm not a fan of the fancy folk, I guess. I don't know, anyone who's smiling while cheating you, I don't like, probably because it's a little too similar to me. He laughs a little at that, like he's, kind of self-deprecating joke.
Sandra chuckles amusingly. Yes, I've always found it easier to be dealing with Vulcans. At least they don't smile when they try to lie at you. Oh wait, no, they don't lie, supposedly.
Actually, no, I'll take that back. I really don't like Vulcans. I like politicians more than Vulcans, I think, but Vulcan politicians are definitely the worst.
They are definitely difficult to deal
There's
with.
something about the sense of superiority that you get with Vulcans. Yeah, I mean, there's some good. I mean, oh boy, I'm going to sound mad here. There's some good Vulcans. I've met a real nice Vulcan, but some of they're suddenly they're intellectuals. They're like their universities, their schools, stuff like that. The fancy Vulcans are the worst of the lot.
The next
And like,
the next
I should
newscast
stop talking.
Yeah, just the next news class. I've met some good Vulcans.
I have friends who are Vulcans. I can't be unvulcan.
Yeah, he's realised where he's gone with this real quick.
Can I a brief aside have like Captain?
I did very much forget there were journalists around.
Yeah, and the captain sort of like in the ear of that just like nudge Shira like and point her head towards Shira towards the doctor.
Yeah, when the
Oh, he sounds like he's talking some sense.
when the doctor's complaining about Vulcans, the person you want to send to stop him is definitely the Andorian.
No.
Yeah.
It does make some sense, but she just kind of gives a maternal glare to Shira.
Xantos sort of just puts hand up. My people have a saying about the Vulcans. The ones who aren't scowling at you too hard are the ones who like you.
Yeah, that tracks. It's also my experience.
The captain decides Patel. She says, looking over Patel's direction.
Yeah, you realize, and I think we'll use this to transition away from the Lambeth Xantar scene. That, whereas usually you would give this aside, Captain, and your trusty science officer and executive officer would have been nearby. At this point, it might be safe to say Patel is speaking with a couple of folks that are a couple of the more senior level officers in the academy staff at this point. If you don't mind the GM override their drone.
No, sounds great.
All right. Yeah. It is that look over something that takes you back, Captain, to something of a bittersweet moment back in your ready room that happened en route back to Earth. So let me just move figures around to make sure that Captain Archer is no longer there, because we don't need him present at that point. That's a whole nother conversation.
Being led on another time travel adventure.
Oh, don't get me started here. But let's.
At this point, has it been cleared yet, or like am I busy with that right now, or is it something else?
I'll be right back.
Sure thing. So let me message you here, but just to set the scene, you are in the you are in your ready room sharp, going through the not insubstantial amount of paperwork that you've had to fill out, drawing up the report for what happened with your encounter of the Zirtan, and various recommendations that need to be made, and everything to take care of.
Not to mention countless requests or interviews or whatever freaking opinions that everybody has, given this is a big shit. Yeah.
Yes. So you are preoccupied with that when you're greeted with the door chime.
Unless the paper shredder for half of these things, you know what? Just come in.
The door opens, and Commander, you step through the threshold of the captain's ready room.
So when the door opens, the camera very clearly picks him up mid-pace back and forth. It's very clear that he was walking around out here waiting on the door, probably for way longer than it took him to ring the doorbell. And he steps in gingerly. He's fidgeting with his hands like he does quite a lot. He's holding a little book in a little box, or like a pad in a box, and is much more nervous than usual.
The man I was looking for. Did you have your reports for? God, I can't even. There's actually 2 more science academies. I want to know more about the design of that energy wave that they used.
Oh yeah, I've already taken the liberty of transmitting all of my information to Starfleet Command. But if anybody's asking for additional reports, I'm more than happy to provide them.
She'll just reach over to try to grab a few of the data pads, pause. It's like, no, it's not it, and kind of start fishing for them. What can I do for you, Patel? Oh, here they are. She just hands a small stack.
He adds them to the little pile of things he's holding in his hands then. And he says very nervously, like I said, even more nervously than Patel usually is. Captain, I wanted to let you know.
Hang on, just a brief moment. I do have a number of things that I wanted to talk to you about regarding the current mission of retrograde we have going up. I already got cleared, and certainly there's a lot of opportunities coming up here. I need recommendations for more science officers, need be, because I know a few of them probably not going to be up for a long-term mission, exploration mission. Because we're going fairly deep out there. So if you have any opinions, certainly I can get some recommendations.
Well, I can say that Ensign Stewart has performed remarkably in her role, and she's definitely one to watch for the future, I think.
Outside of the number of minor questions about how much she's qualified for certain things, she says, leans back.
Well, I have degrees in botany and geology, and I've learned a lot about warp physics and quantum mechanics since we've been out here. So there is a degree of on-the-job learning that I think she's capable of. However, if you're looking for more people to and he awkwardly stumbles around the wording. Replace? No, not replace.
Do you need a drink, Patel? Sit down.
He doesn't sit down at the couch. He sits down at this like little table over here next to you.
Yeah. She gets up. Need a drink?
Oh no, I think I'm fine.
Cigar? She smiles.
He chuckles nervously because this is not the first time I think you've probably offered him.
Yeah, a number of things.
Things that you know he doesn't partake in.
Yeah.
Someday, Captain, I think I will take you up on that, but that's probably not today.
All right, well. She gets a glass for herself because it's probably in a few hours through this mess of papers. She pours herself a nice brandy.
He so I'm gonna say in his super nervousness, he watches you pour it, and like the camera sees his Adam's apple just like gulp a little bit, and sort of exasperatedly says, "Actually, I think I might just this time maybe just it might help a little bit, Captain. You know."
She's finishing pouring hers, and just like looks over, raises an eyebrow. Gives him a long moment to like recant it if he wants, before just slowly grabbing another chilled glass and setting it down, and slowly pouring it while watching him. And then once finished pouring, just sort of nudges it with 2 fingers towards his direction.
He nervously looks at it, and he sets aside his little bundle of like packages that he brought with him, and puts them on the table, and like looks down at the glass ominously. The camera angle pops up from like inside the glass, looking at his face nervously, and he takes a maybe a little bit too large of a swig that you would expect for somebody like this. He's very inexperienced.
A little slow there. The
face that he makes is ooh, this is disgusting. But
it's actually a pretty good brand, but to each their own. She says takes a sip of hers.
I don't think he says this is disgusting.
Yeah. But no, when he makes that face, like disgusting face, like it's actually a pretty good brand, but to each their own.
No, it's good. Thank you. This helped? Question mark.
Another?
No. This is enough, Captain. There's something that's come in that I want to talk to you about.
Related to the reports, things we have planned ahead. What's up?
Related to your question about the science staff aboard this ship.
She sits down, kind of lays back a little bit. Something going on amongst the science officers?
No, the team itself is working, like I said, admirably, and commendations all around to everybody involved. But it's more about me, Captain. And he says there's no easy way to put this, but I've received an offer.
If it's Hernandez again, I'm going.
No, I turned her down once before. I think it's that door has sealed behind me.
Nah, well, she's persistent, if anything else. Likes to poach a lot, from what I've heard. All right. What else? Who?
Well, it would seem that, after the past year that we've been out here, and the past couple of years that Enterprise has been out exploring deep space, the Academy has realized that a lot of their professorships have been wanting for people with field experience. And given my background in academia and what I would consider quite diverse experience in the field. Starfleet Command, together with the Academy, have made me a very, very tempting offer. One that I am inclined to accept.
She just stares at you for a moment. Pulls out a cigar. I see.
Of course, understand that this has nothing to do with this ship or this crew. I've grown very fond of all of you, and despite some of the rocky experiences that I've had on the ship, I feel like I have definitely grown in my time here.
Well, yeah, I've spent a lot of work trying to break you in. She chuckles.
Well, that's a good perspective, but I think now is the time for me to break others in. The new generation of explorers that will be going out there. Recruiting numbers are apparently exploding, and the Academy needs the best that it can get.
Certainly do. Kieran, you're a damn good XO. A little flighty once you're on the captain seat, but you've been improving on that, and certainly been more than capable. And I know that there's a lot of talent in there. I'm only sad that I only got to see the start of it. She gives a small smile.
Well, the Academy is, as I said, a very very tempting offer for the moment, and I am inclined to accept it with your blessing, of course. But it doesn't have to be the end of my career in Starfleet, you know.
I hope not. The Starfleet would be a lot less without you. You have my blessing. I don't want you here if you don't want to be here. And certainly I want you to grow. I feel like this is somewhere where you can grow and help others grow. Then I'd be crazy not to let you go. She offers a hand.
He nervously shakes it, but I think at the beginning of the shake, it's sort of like weak, like the typical Patel handshake. But you can feel that there's a little bit of strength in there now.
Yeah.
He says, actually, scratch that. He doesn't have that line that I was thinking of.
But that doesn't abscond you from the job of babysitting this sorry lot until you leave.
Of course.
Not to mention, well, all of this, she says, gesturing to the countless pads.
Yeah, the paperwork is something that I was never a problem for me. I quite enjoy it, which is good because I'm going to have a lot of it in my future, I think.
Yeah, I enjoy it myself, but at some point, even someone that enjoys it can get a little sick of it. When are you leaving? When's the offer to leave? Also, what the hell is this? She says, dashing to the box.
Oh, he pulls the pads out from like on top of the little box and hands it to Sharp. It's like the size of, I don't know, like a it's a small box. It's like a tissue box size thing. And it's you can tell that it's wrapped in like sort of like dark blue metallic wrapping paper, and the way that the light catches off of it, like the logo of like the ship logo of the Aegis is like embossed on the metal wrapping. It's very clever. And he hands the box to you gingerly and says, "Just consider this a going away present, and a token of my thanks for everything that I've learned from you over the past year."
Wow. You can have the real experience of me opening it right now, or I can open it later.
You can save it for when I'm not around.
Sure.
You know how I am with these things, Captain.
I do. When are you leaving?
Not long after we return to port. So the spring semester is starting very soon after we're due to ship out again. So we'll have a little bit of time on Earth, and then that's it.
I need you at least for a week to help the dot some I's and cross some T's with the new XO. When I ever either get assigned or pull from my ranks. Just make it seamless.
I was looking over the fleet manifest, and I do have a couple of interesting candidates that I can maybe give you some tips towards.
Send them to me, and I'll push them up the ranks and see what they think.
Captain, I don't have to say that it's been an honor, and I don't need to drag these things out.
Raise a hand. Stands up. Very formally. If anything, Commander Kieran Patel, it's been an honor serving you. And I can't wait to see down the years of what kind of greater person you'll turn out to be.
Patel is not shaking, but you can tell that he is cringing extremely hard on the inside during this entire scene. But he's controlling it much better than the Kieran Patel that you first met in that turbolift a year ago.
Yeah. And Kieran?
Captain?
Take some goddamn like stomach meds or something next time, yeah?
You're right. I probably should have gone to the med bay and had Dr. Lambeth give me something.
Should be like a regular thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know. Yeah, good point. I'll bring it up with the medical staff in San Francisco.
She just smiles and just gestures you that you can be dismissed with a smile, with a big friendly smile.
He returns it and makes for the door, and he's got his little like stack of pads with him, and right before he gets to the door, he turns back around and gives you like that Frodo at the end of Return of the King smile, and and walks.
She just smiles back. When he leaves, she'll wait a moment, light her cigar, look back at the package, and I'm going to open it.
So inside the package, you'll find no note, no like little card on the wrapping or anything. Very simply wrapped. It is, and you recognize it. It is Patel's leather-bound field journal that he's had with him the entire time that he's been on board Aegis. And go ahead.
That just is a very heartwarming, sad smile.
If you flip it open, or if she happens to flip it open, you'll find from every mission that we've been on, Patel is always, when he's in an away mission or whatever, he is always taking sketches of things that he sees in the field. So you see all these pretty intricate, although quickly done sketches of like leaves and plants and small animals. You see one of Woolsworth the sheep from the second episode or the third episode.
He will be missed.
Basically like any sort of weirdness that we ran into, but also especially as you flip like further into the book, interspersed here and there are character portraits. So like, and these weren't ones that you can tell he like sat down and was staring at somebody drawing them. Like he did them all from memory. And there's one of like Eula, at battle stations or whatever on the bridge and appearing very like brave and determined in a crisis moment. There's one of Saral working together with Patel in the science lab on the weird like sarcophagus mummy thing from the horror episode. Basically every character has one, and the very last one is an image of Sharp sitting in the command chair, looking very determined and very in control.
Nice. She just kind of looks at it, and I think that's a good segue back to the present.
Yep.
I agree, and I'll stick us back at that ceremony. Captain, where you cast that bittersweet glance with the memory firmly in hand and the journal in a place with safekeeping. As Patel prepares to go on to bigger and better things, at this point he has been off the ship and helped you tend to a number of plans. And you have tended to much of what you need to do, but the EXO question remains a difficult one, at least insofar as Starfleet, and Mako for that matter, have been struggling to scrape together adequate personnel listings for you.
And I imagine not agreeing with each other at a single moment.
No. Oh, it's about to get worse. But yeah, with all of that, let me ask first, does anybody else have anything that they want to do while they are here?
I would like to carry the scene just a little bit further.
Go right ahead.
She kind of looks over toward Patel, takes a small sigh, excuses herself from talking with Edison, and starts making her way, just casually trying not to look angry or anything that could draw the attention of the media, and just lightly taps the doctor's shoulder.
Yes.
Well, congratulations, Doctor. I just wanted to say to you, certainly you've earned it just as much as the rest of the crew.
Oh, thanks. Congratulations to you too.
Great.
Captain.
Sure that you're having a good time?
Yeah, sure. Meeting our new medical crew member.
If you would excuse me, Doctor, she says to Xantar with a polite smile.
Good day to Captain? Colonel?
Captain, for the moment.
All the captain hears is a quick tss, tss, and he holds out his hand, and Xantar holds out his hand, freshly sanitized.
Yeah. If I can borrow you for a moment, Dr. Lambeth.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Xantar
She'll
smiles
just gesture into a way that's far just a little more distance away from the media. I understand that there are a number of misgivings, and certainly you can voice them, Doctor, but can you do so at the privacy of away from very prying ears?
Oh, right. Yeah, well, I got into a very interesting conversation and got sidetracked. So sorry about that. Forgot about the whole media management thing. It's really not my style.
I probably wouldn't have anybody on my ship that would. Could probably barely tolerate them. But regardless, trying to cover it up by speaking louder about how much you love them doesn't exactly create much of a dismissal.
I'm quite frankly offended. I did not say I loved Vulcans. I said I liked one Vulcan.
She just
It's kind of like
she shushes you.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, Captain. I get the picture. Yeah, I'm not. I may have overcorrected.
Just a little bit. Just try to keep an eye on it, all right?
Yeah, sure.
The Vulcans will remember that.
She just pats him on the shoulder. Enjoy the moment. You don't get very many of these. And then she'll just walk
No,
away.
we do not. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was it. And then she just smiles and walks away.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anybody, so far as our other players, obviously, Felix, Craig, you you two haven't had a moment here, so if you wanted anything while we were in this scene, then we can do something. Otherwise, we can move things about. If you don't have any scenes in mind, if you want to just say what your character's doing, very general, how they're conducting themselves, you can do that too.
I don't have any scenes, but Shira's probably first very deliberately dressed in her Imperial Guard formal uniform, so that's the kind of shiny, shimmering chainmail thing with a big, thick, studded black belt around the waist. And she's been quite uncomfortable throughout, and then she's realised the error in wearing a uniform which no one else is that she can't actually slip into the background and disappear. Not that probably one of the few aliens at this meeting could really disappear, but she really is standing out and trying not to.
Yep. I suppose if I were a cruel GM, which I am not, I would ask if you wanted to do a media training role. I won't force you to do that, however.
What would that be? Like command presence or?
Precisely.
Hmm.
But yes, I will say that you deftly navigate any questions as far as circumstances back home go, anything of the sort. And yeah, just largely, keeping the guard and Starflight's name in high regard. Anything from you, Felix? Anything you'd either want to do or just a note for Marcus?
I think I'm just not there. I'm somewhere else. Which might come up later.
Fair enough. We'll let Marcus slip out sometime during the ceremony, and thus allow you to escape. But this will proceed for a little ways until finally sufficient time passes and you depart the ceremony. Some of you might be staying in the San Francisco area. I know the Colonel has one particular semi-restful moment. She's going to be on the, I know she eventually has shuttle pod plans to go out to New Zealand, but we'll save that bit for later.
Yeah.
Where we will be going, however, is following our Andorian military attaché and our tactical officer, as you wind up taking a shuttle pod or other transportation out to a more remote area. I would say still further east. Let's call this still in the North American continent, further east and further north. Glancing over the landscape of the continent, you see it steadily meld from the browns and greens to more interspersing of white to reflect the winter season that has come here and visited the colony, or rather visited the homeworld of humanity. As your craft begins to get closer to this area, you find yourself far away from the bright clusters of light that are starting to come through. There's a little bit of the cityscapes you can make out. It's still not quite evening, but with the way that the hemisphere is angled, it is such that it would get darker earlier in the day. You do just make it out to where you are going, while there's still some daytime left. In particular, a far northeastern woodland area. Setting down on a remote shuttle port, you are given the option. Would you prefer to take some sort of basically a jet ski type vehicle, or would you prefer to walk through the snow from here?
Take a what's it called? Snowmobile, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes,
snow. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Jet ski, I'm not sure that would work on the snow.
Indeed not. Upon arriving at the port, and affecting whatever slight change you need. I imagine in this weather it's just a light jacket.
Nice jacket.
A slight
backpack.
windbreaker, goggles, and probably helmet.
Hmm.
Safety first.
Helmet with a couple holes for the antenna to stick out of.
Yeah. You had something brought custom. A gift, even. In any case, you take that, you take what's... you maybe take a few supplies you knew you needed to gather, and you drive on through the snowy weather. Eventually, you slow down the vehicle as clearing through a path in the tree line, you find your ways to a remote but well-lit cabin. Parking the vehicle, you get yourself settled in, grab your gear, and head up to the door.
I will open the door if I can.
Yep, the door, of course, remains, as you had left it, or as you would expect it, remains open, for its occupant figured that he would have been able to handle anything that would have come his way. Ah, well, look what the Graith dragged in. Lieutenant Charm Decorum of the Imperial Guard says, although he is out of his usual Imperial attire, he's adopted more civilian-style wear. There's the smell of something fairly fragrant cooking, although while fragrant, this doesn't necessarily translate to good.
Well, I couldn't help it. That ceremony went on forever.
Oh yes, I'm sure. I've no doubt those. The Starfleet may not be quite as military as the Guard, but they sure do love their pomp and circumstance when they get into shift.
It's worse. They had cameras. It was being broadcast because the human prime minister was there.
Such a damn it! As something starts to burn, he takes a pan off of the hot burner that he had set up and turns everything off. Right. I'll try that again.
Attempt to poison us?
Oh, I was just trying to make use of the spice cabinet here. Anyway, let me help you with that. He'll come over and start helping you off with the help off some of the supplies that you have, allow you to get yourself a little more situated. It is a smooth, seamless gesture, as at this point the two of you know your motions, know your habits at this point much better, and as he lugs some of the gear and supplies that you brought. Oh, good. I just burned the last of this, so it'll help.
Yeah. I've managed to pick up a few extra things. Some human delicacies that they recommend for camping. There's these hot dogs. They're not currently hot, so I assume we have to heat them ourselves. I've heard of this dog. Apparently, Captain Archer of the Enterprise has one. So I don't know how they taste.
No, these people do surprise me. They'll eat their own companion animals.
They are a weird bunch, yes. But generally all right once you get past the smell.
Oh, suppose if I'm going to go on any sort of adventure, culinary or otherwise, I'm glad I have somebody I would trust at my back for that. He says, and as he does, he'll use one free hand shifting around some of the weight of the supplies to just graze the side of your face slightly.
Oh, so charming.
Oh, you know me, old romantic. And he says, lugging the other cases around. But yeah, it's obviously it will. Tarn joined you, I'd say, probably in the past couple weeks. One of the first shuttles he could get out from Andoria, of course, since he's been on leave. And yeah, I'd say that getting this together was rather... I wouldn't be surprised if somebody had some pull at Starfleet to help you get the cabin set up quite easily, if Shira didn't take it upon herself there.
Yeah, she'd probably need some help to arrange this.
Yeah.
It's like money. So you'd have to convert Andorian whatevers into Earth somethings.
Yes, yes. Well, whatever the, let's see, whatever else is going on here, I suppose, if you decide you're not crazy about the armory officer, the armory duties, then you'd make some crack work in logistics.
Oh yeah, logistics, which is bring food. Bring food, bring drinks. Oh, drinks, yes. She'll bring out a bottle. This is single malt whiskey. So, apparently it's quite warming.
Well, I suppose if we knock that fire out, then it might be an appropriate drink. Either that or, well, could always drop a layer or two.
Yeah, we can just open a few windows and stuff again.
Yeah. He'll give a little mischievous grin there.
Oh, yeah, no, yes, I see, yes. We could definitely drop a few layers. Definitely.
Yep. With that, and pending them showing up, I'm just going to opt for GM control here. Actually, before that, no. GM override here. There is a knock at the door.
Ah, yes. Now, I may, I'll get the door.
Okay.
Go to the door.
Ooh. Did you have some other supplies sent in?
Supplies.
Well, hey everyone! As Romanov enters in, I'm going to say at this part of the, this would be the segment of the show where the sitcom audience maybe applauds a little and laughs.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yep. Romanov dressed not quite warmly enough for the environment, or maybe is dressed very warmly, but it's I would imagine something bright and obnoxious.
So like he sort of waits there and stares at the camera with a kind of a, nonchalant attitude.
Yep. Tarm just sighs a bit as his antennae droop. You'll
Yeah, I just invited Aleska along. She's best friend. And it's just for the evening because she's been working really hard on the Aegis and had to miss that medal ceremony, and I kind of wish I could have traded places there, but it's just for the evening. We got the place to ourselves. And it's only one person.
And as you hear that, there's another knock at the door.
Okay, now I don't know who that is. So this is Eula's gonna look at Aleska thing and just mouth, "What?" Oh,
I'm so sorry. I had to let one friend know who was up on the ship
What?
still. He barely gets away from the console getting things coordinated as it is. And I thought, I want to learn more about Andorian customs. He might want to learn more about Andorian customs. So it's just a nice little thing.
Okay. So it's gonna freeze anyway. So humans can't deal with cold. I'll open the door.
Hello, sir. I am very cold.
Crichton.
Yep, Crichton is definitely not sufficiently dressed for the outside, or like light jacket, mittens, and a hat. I brought the Looney Tunes, sir.
The Looney... What's a Looney... Just get in before you freeze.
Ugh, he trudges in with a bit of snow. You see Tarm in the other corner, near the kitchen, as he's distributing some of the foodstuffs that you acquired, just putting his hands on his shoulders. Audience starts laughing.
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, nice to see you, Crichton.
Oh, yes, sir. It's quite nice. I heard about this whole thing with Romanov visiting you, and hello, Mr. Tarm. Hello, Crichton. Yes, I thought that I was told about the cultural exchange, so I thought that it might be an interesting opportunity to come and visit.
The cultural exchange. It was just supposed to be evening with food and drinks.
Knock, 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 knock. Hello? There's only one here, so I hope this is it.
Okay, right. This is.
Hey,
Cheryl, open the door again.
It's Stewart. She's looking so cold. She does have stuff on, but she's like, I heard there's like a mandatory meeting here regarding.
What do you mean mandatory?
Well, I mean, I heard something about a.
Just get in before you freeze. Why are humans
so
dressing
cold.
so badly?
It's
for
so
these
cold.
Conditions? Get it. She'll drag Stewart inside. Why are humans dressing so badly? You're dressing like Andorians for this. Dress like humans.
I have 5 coats on. 5.
Then
And it's
wear a
cold
6th.
still. Oh.
Okay. At this point, she's her antenna have gone from confused to getting irritated.
Yep. At this point, Romanov has gotten into the whiskey and has started pouring glasses for everyone.
Oh.
Well, I think a toast is in order for this to celebrate all this. It's been a long road getting from there to here, and I mean that walk through the snow was rough.
Knock, knock, knock.
Why didn't you just
Boom, boom, boom.
transport down? Get the door.
Shaving
There's
our
a
bed
big old Orion male there. He's like, hey, what's up? I got some food. I thought there was some catering going.
Well.
You don't mind if I invite some
Actually, you're welcome. Go. The kitchen's that way.
Great. I heard there's a big old culture exchange, so I invite some friends.
There's what?
Chief
How many friends?
Chief Justice rolls up behind the Orion, and he's got Deshawn with him. Hey, the party's here. Am I right?
Kadesh in late winter.
Something about winter? Oh, no. I don't even... This... Okay. I'm surprised you're able to tell him where you were going, but come in, I guess. Apparently it's going to be a full party. Okay. Oh.
What? I didn't invite them. More people are coming, says Alonso.
Alonso, go help my boyfriend Tom. He's in the kitchen. He currently burned
Boyfriend?
the
You
first
mean
batch.
this little stick? All right, sure.
So,
come on, little stick. Let's go work some food.
Don't call
Huh?
him that. He will snap you in half.
That's funny.
Yep.
Or he'll just deliberately sabotage the food.
Yep. Tarm is his antennae are definitely angled in such a manner to communicate fury, but also restraint in that he is trying to not spoil an otherwise pleasant moment. As the situation goes on, the kitchen begins to become more lively as Alonso takes the work. And yeah, everybody's kind of broken off into their conversations. You might hear a bit of Romanov saying, "Oh yeah, Tasaki Shipyards is really busy right now. I got to speak with Captain Jeffries, Captain Barton. We've been busy getting in new components, replacing some of the worn out stuff. I've seen some of the ships going. They've got the new Intrepids and even the Republic variants going. They've got more Ganges. I even got a look at the gantry passing by on the shuttle pod ride here. I got to look at the Challenger under construction. It's really coming along.
That's great to hear. I'm glad you're having such a lovely time looking at all the things. Can I have that whiskey bottle there for a second?
Oh yeah. She hands you
I mean,
a half-empty whiskey bottle.
Oh, wow, oh my. She's just going to go over to Tom and begin moving the bottle towards his mouth. Here, you're going to need this.
Yeah, I think I shall before the evening is out.
Yeah.
Could you tell your, boyfriend that, that he needs to understand that Andorian cooking actually has a really finite sort of slice to it when you need to, I'm trying out of character. My brain decided about cooking terms. We need to work on perfectly seasoning your stews. The man can't understand. He just wants to dump everything in here, and frankly, I don't think he knows anything about Andorian cooking or anything Andorian in the first place.
Oh, not that pan there. That I burnt the ingredients there. I was actually thinking at this point that we might all have dog.
Yes,
Look.
yes. Oh, that's right. We've probably got enough of these hot dogs to go around. Look, she'll hold up the can.
Alonso just kind of looks like both a mix of disgust, as if you've you basically you in essence just took his 6-year-old painting of hey look, this is my mom, and just wiped a mess clean with it. He just frowns and says, if that's what you want to do. I brought a lot more food than that, but sure, we can have.
Seems to work. There's 8 sausage dogs in this can, and there's 8 of us. So this should work. And since you're a culinary expert, I'm sure you'll be able to prepare these absolutely perfectly. I'd say.
Fine. Give me the damn dead pets over here.
Yeah, here you go. Here are the dead pets.
Yep.
Now get on my goddamn kitchen. He says like a snap.
Let's just leave him to it. He's a decent chef.
Yeah. So as you and Tarm make your way away from the kitchen and into the main living space where everybody is sipping on whiskey and or almost everyone, I'll let various characters reserve what they want to say. Crichton is going on about well, it came to me, actually the captain made an offhandedly helpful comment, but that the Deshawn's people, whomever they are, they communicate through the use of metaphors or constant allusions to very particular stories. Unfortunately, we don't have much insight into those, as the cultures and other things that they might be alluding to, we just don't have that broad a database. That's part of what this has been useful for, as he taps a hollow projector he's set up. I've been busy acquainting our guest with with Old Earth media, particularly the animated works of the Warner Brothers.
And I've been supplementing them with other things more relevant, and because we don't all know the Looney Tunes, Crichton.
Yes.
Lieutenant, can we increase the heat a bit more? It's so cold.
But does everyone want to increase the heat here?
Chief Justice just gives you a thumbs up, and he's wearing like a World War II bomber jacket with like the leather and the sheep's wool, and he's totally cozy. He's like, I'm all good, Lieutenant.
Yeah, Romanov will raise her hands like, oh, I'd like it warmer too. It is a little bit nippy in here. What about you, Deshaun? I should have that way.
He seems like more interested in he's not really listening, but he's definitely like rubbing his own his arms like if it's cold, but he's investigating what everything in this weird room is like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she'll look apologetically to Tom. I'll turn up the heat
to like maybe 70, 75,
70
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
Celsius.
I don't. I'll just look. Stuart, you're now in charge of the temperature controls.
Oh, thank God! She gets up. She gets up and bolts over to to get it just fixed.
Crichton is busy tapping on the console and trying to activate the projector. It's I just had this working the other day. Ah! And it sparks up, and a little flame comes out of it, or a bit of smoke comes out of it, and he just.
I swear, if you burn down this cabin.
Oh, no, it just, it malfunctioned a little bit. He looks over to Deshaun.
This thing's made of wood. Don't set fire to it.
The Coyote with his Acme rocket. Perfection. It is at this point that there is another knock at the... Oh, wait. Sorry? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just said genius. That's all.
Fair enough. It is at this point there is another knock at the door.
Shira sighs, resigned, and goes, well, I guess someone's going to go without a dog. She opens the door.
And before you steps Commander Shran of the Andorian Imperial Guard.
She'll make this kind of...
Yep. Tarm sees and stands to attention too, just reflexively.
She'll also go to attention. Commander Shran. Yeah, Commander Shran.
He is well equipped for the. He is well equipped for the weather, and very hard faced as he steps through. They'll quickly he won't bother setting aside the jacket. You notice he's got something underslung from his arm, which as he steps through he'll loosen. For everybody that still has whiskey, he'll look around and say, drink it or empty it now. I think that at least for their part, Crichton will quickly do it and struggle a bit. Romanov will effortlessly down what she has. Tarm...
Stewart just chugs her. She ain't gonna lie. And now she's just chugging it down.
Yep.
Chief Justice gulps his down and then pours himself another and gulps that down too.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Stewart makes a high pitched whining noise in her because it's like it burns. It burns so much, but she's trying to quiet down. She's trying to really.
Yeah. So Shran will go grab a glass of his own, and as he removes something from the case he was carrying, turns out to be a bottle of a bluish liquid. He will pour some in his own, and some in the rest, and then just immediately down it. Hell, he says as he sets the bottle down on the table. didn't want to come out to this miserable place anyway.
It's not that miserable. Yeah, yes, sir.
Collecting himself and acknowledging other people in the room once again, he looks around and then steps up to you, Lieutenant Shira. Lieutenant?
Yes, sir.
You are hereby relieved as attaché to the Andorian Imperial Guard.
Right. Oh, okay, yes, sir. I stand relieved.
Yeah, because I've just been given a goddamn desk assignment.
I'm so sorry.
He might have started with another bottle. At least until they get me another ship. Or rather, put me on one of their ships. God damn it, perish that thought.
May I ask what desk assignment?
I am the new Andorian Imperial Military Attaché to Starfleet.
Well, I guess. She realized she started saying congratulations. She doesn't want to be congratulated, but she can't not finish the sentence now. So, congratulations.
They took me off a perfectly good ship. My ship. They put me on this miserable ball. I guess I can deal with pink skins.
That's... the humans are nice to deal with. Look, we've got... She does a quick count. 4 in this room.
What are you doing here anyway? Holding some kind of damned cultural exchange? It's with everyone else here.
You know, it was technically just supposed to be a night in for me and Tom, and just to have one of my friends over, and it ballooned out of control.
Oh, yeah. Lieutenant, give me some food here. I'm had a long trip and...
Alazzo, for one... Oh, no, not when... Can't feed you one of these. Have you ever tried dog before?
I have other food, goddammit.
Yeah, Shran just scowls. I've met dog before. I wouldn't eat a dog. The hell's wrong with you people?
I don't know. I'm...
Alazzo steps out. I made some Andorian northern stew. I made do with what I can, a few earth things, but it does pretty well for what I can for what I had, sir.
Yep, that'll do. Thank you, Alazzo. That's Alazzo. He's one of the chefs on the Aegis.
Alazzo kind of like leans forward as if like a building leaning down toward a person towards you. Sure, and he kind of whispers, "You told me it was freaking command here."
I didn't know he was coming. Do you think this is a face of someone who is not surprised by Commander Shran showing up in the middle of the camp?
Forget. He just steps away. He storms off back into the kitchen.
In any case, Lieutenant, I've got your orders here too, he says, extracting a pad from his jacket. Didn't want to deliver these in person, but apparently General Shilka's very particular ideas about how he wants information delivered. You were to effective immediately be reassigned to Vodel 5.
Vodel 5?
What the hell? Why? This is like Stewart says. I mean, sir.
He'll glance over at you. Because apparently...
She shrinks. Shrinks hell hard.
Apparently, Lieutenant has pissed somebody off. If you'll excuse me, He says, taking the bottle of ale before anyone can refill. I need to sleep this off like a bad dream. And he'll just
What do I know of Vodel 5?
The most humid, ill-temperate swamp planet in a very rare but light strategic position. Basically a series of supply warehouses that are widely reputed as the most poorly climate-controlled in all of the Imperial Guard's facilities. It is the equivalent of, if you think to lower decks, it is the equivalent of Starbase 80.
He's sending you to Alaska. Yeah.
Which ironically
Equivalent.
would be a great posting for an Andorian.
That's why he's annoyed. He wants to go.
Vodel 5. That utter bastard. I am going... She starts pacing,
Sir, does
muttering.
does that mean that... Are you leaving the Aegis, sir?
Well, unless the Aegis parks on Vodel 5, yes. I'm not assigned to
what do we do?
Starfleet anymore. I'm assigned to being a
But I mean, you're-
quartermaster on a supply depot.
But you're part of this family, so what are we gonna do? Like, you're a security officer. You're actually kind of intimidating a little bit, to be honest. But
Thank you.
you sure? But regardless, like you can't leave, right? Because I mean, Earth still needs you.
I can leave. I mean, I don't want to leave, but
But I mean, they can't reassign you if the Earth says no. You've got to stay here, right? And that's what he's saying already.
It's not Earth's choice what the Imperial Guard do with their officers.
So
Earth has a replacement, and one who's better qualified and higher ranked than I am.
No.
Yes.
Who would that be? Like you've done the job pretty well, more than I could do.
Sure, I can be on the horn with Starfleet Command right away or I can get the captain or the well, no, I can't raise Patel now. I can reach out to them right away, sir.
Just needs.
You know what? No.
Just
Go,
need a bit-
Crichton, go ahead. Bring up the captain. I'm like, look, this is insane.
Yep. Romanov steps up and starts saying, "She's right. All right. All hands to action stations. We're gonna get this figured out here." And
There's not a lot to figure out. I'm not in Starfleet, so Starfleet doesn't get a say in this.
Like how? Sorry, sir, for swearing.
No,
but like
no,
how?
no. Feel free to swear. Unleash all.
Well, fuck
unleash
this
all
shit
your-
then. This is what it says.
Steward?
Yes. Double
like those
dumbass
words.
on them.
Double dumbass, yes. Well, certainly on Shilk. Certainly on that bastard.
I think that's a good ending for that scene.
Yeah, no. As a disquieting silence takes hold and you figure out what you all ponder your next steps here. The last person doesn't even bother to knock at the door. Conley steps in and says, "Hey, everybody! I'm sorry to say this now, but I just got my transfer papers in. I'm going to be I'm Challenger now."
Fuck that shit too, says Stewart.
Yeah, just everybody everybody just gives an irritated scream, and yeah, Conley's like, Conley did not read the room. But yeah. With that, let's take just a few minutes here just for a quick intermission. I need to refill a water bottle real quick. And
Do you see my message, Zach?
Yes, I did see what you sent me there. We'll get that.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I can make that work.
Okay.
So real quick, yeah, let me move us over to an intermission screen, and we will we'll take a quick bio break. The GM is going to hydrate here. Anybody else that needs to do so, you're welcome to that. But we'll take just like a few minutes here and get that sorted out. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to season 2.
Yes.
First episode, we're dissolving the.
The Aegis blows up.
Yes. So let's see here. Just getting it set up
And just when Pete joined the coincidence, I think not.
Hey, just be glad I didn't come in photon torpedoes on the moon.
Silence, Romulan.
All right, and we are coming back now. Hello, everyone. We're just getting back to the game now, after a brief little intermission. And as we rejoin the game, we happen ourselves upon a somewhat tropical venue out in the Pacific, where Captain, far from the antics of other parts of the crew and the news that is yet to come to you, you find yourself juggling your own very strange situation. As you have the two women in your life whom you have been closest to in so many ways, and you had never thought of them being put together, but
It has been an ordeal.
Yep, and it's been a few months since you've been away. Thus, you found Athena and Visenia have a degree of at least comfort in their discussions as they, as the three of you are sat at a table. Visenia says, well, I still miss the mobility. I suppose this isn't the worst gravity well to dump me down.
That's what I try to tell you. She says that she kind of fingers through a data pad.
Yeah. I suppose I should. Well, I suppose I should trust every other thing you say, Eddie.
Like you are the ideal person of truth and virtue, right? She says, glancing over with a smile at her.
Oh, I'm getting gold stars down at with your friends over in intelligence. Isn't that right? Isn't that right there? And Athena says, she is quite a good asset, and I'd say I've gotten more info from her in the past couple months than I've had from you the whole time you've been out on that one starship. Come to think of it, back on the Franklin, too. A lot of insight.
And how much? And how much of that information has been covered by sheer amounts of bullshit? She says.
Oh, about a third of it. Almost half is true.
Oh, that's a new high for you. She's looking over to Miss Zenia.
Hey, you know me. I don't mind dressing things up in the odd, colorful metaphor. Little bit of, just a little bit of flair. You like the flair. She likes the flair, Visenia says it to Athena. Like, yeah, and she has believe me, she's got ample theatricality herself. She told you about the time she proposed. And, this this is not the first time that this is not the first time that you've had stories of a previous life, Lillian, go back and forth between the two of them, and
Yeah.
they each of them have found a way to accentuate more painful elements to it, or like slight embarrassment, maybe over accentuating some of the flair, quote unquote, that you tried to show.
Yeah, she just gives like a dismissive wince and just looks away, embarrassed. It's all part of the job and all part of the charm. That's pretty much half of pirating.
Oh yeah, the charm, Visenia says. That's certainly how you worked your way out of the court. That and a well-placed disruptor.
I didn't say that charm was everything. She says,
Yeah, they give each other a knowing glance and just start laughing.
yeah.
It's kind of on the line of between with and at you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She just smiles.
Yeah.
Athena, can you look at these reports? I'm trying to make sure that these things are clean, especially with the news reports going on.
Oh, I told you not to bring those along.
Just look through the roster.
You know, you really need to cut loose, Eddie, Lily, whatever, Visenia says. I mean, your Captain Edison friend, he left you this nice bottle of a single malt whiskey, as a matter of fact. I like this drink, and you should like it too. You should enjoy it. You should take a nice big stiff drink of it.
And I will, probably later. But at the moment, I'm trying to make sure that, especially with everything going on, that my mission coming up won't get befuddled by, well, other people. She kind of glances over at Athena with a mild frown, because Athena knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. Hey, she looks at you. And there will be time for that later. Lillian, but there's so precious few moments that we have to actually take to ourselves, even if, ourselves is a little bit larger than usual. She says, glancing over to Visenia. Really, I'm the one that should be considering myself on the clock at the moment, and rapport building is an easy way to make this work, and you can contribute to that process by just taking it easy, letting go for a few minutes. Yeah, Visenia says,
Fine.
Rapport building is what we're calling it now these days. Okay.
She just sits down and kind of glances over at Athena. This is the first time I've heard you talk about that. Try to take things easy.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around.
It's a new habit, but I'm also not gallivanting about the cosmos. Or about...
Yeah, your dad got in the way of that, she says. Just kind of grumbles a little bit. Not that I mind Horn, but...
He's the best. In any case.
You're better.
Well, some people might dispute that, but between you and me, I'll take it. And as Athena offers you a bit of a wink, your communicator chirps.
Of course, Fate has other plans. She says with a sigh. She gives both her wives a kiss and then just gets up. Excuse me, ladies. Go ahead and joke about me behind my back. And walks away. Pulls out the communicator.
Oh, sir.
Sharp.
Sir. Oh, good. I'm so glad I caught you. I'm sorry to disturb you on leave. We have a big issue here. Commander Strand's here, and there's a swamp planet, and it's all...
Crichton, calm down. Break it to me what's going on.
Oh, sir, they're going to try and reassign the lieutenant.
I'm on my way.
And as you set off with, I'm sure, polite nod to your to current, former, somewhere nebulous definition
Current.
spouses.
Let's be honest. Let's be current. It's just the mess that is her love life. Yeah.
Yes. By different legal standards and cultural practices, current spouses. You set off towards the nearest shuttle port. Elsewhere in a similar tropical isle, one more devoid of buildings, and located elsewhere, further along, standing, I guess, either by, well...
I mean, Horn is basically inside the trailer. That just seems more of... There's a place to sleep, but there is just storage boxes of what actually looks like junk and debris. And as he steps out, there's an ocean wind blowing. There is, you see the green and the nature, and most prominently, a giant, God, what do you call it? It's not a crater. It's a scar in the earth.
A gorge.
That is just goes straight from where land meets the ocean to as far as you can see.
Yes.
A lovely gift by the Zindi. And and he's basically looking at what's left of his former life. Like everything that he owned is just like rubble, if even that. Mostly vapor.
Yes. You breathe in the air of the Cuban breeze. You know that in the years since the attack, much of the debris, much of that vapor, any compound that remained from that is either long since coated the area and been taken into nature in some sense, or long blown away with the tropical winds. The handful of the pieces of detritus, of debris that remain from this site, from this jagged cliff etched into the earth by a terrible weapon. It leaves you with naught but the echoes of a memory.
Yeah, and he has spent a lot of time over the years trying to salvage whatever he could, but there's almost nothing that's left. Because what's left after that? However, he has like a small case of knickknacks that's at least in parts stuff he could salvage. But that's pretty much everything he leaves behind. Total is. He's kind of just standing there looking over it all. Contemplating. Like.
Yes. Well, the fragments of a past life, they dwell before you, and it's an uncertain path as far as what to do about this trailer, what to do with what remains. It's a life such as this is probably not something you've had to dispense with or come to a decision with in some time, but it is, of course, a difficult question. And as you stare over one previous life here in the remnants, the communicator chirping at your side reminds you that you have the calling of another soon to come.
Flick it open. Horn?
Horn, it's Mitchell.
Yes, sir?
We've got a development here coming around at command. thinking I'm going to want you handy for this.
I don't like the sound of that. Can be there in reasonable time frame for the shuttle pod ride.
Yep. I'll stall for as long as I can. Mitchell, out.
Huh? So much for goodbyes. And just puts the box on his arm and just turns around and the shuttle.
Okay.
It's very much like everything that he needs to say he has said probably a long time ago. It's just he needs the physical action of leaving. That's like all that's missing.
Indeed, indeed. So Mitchell will, with Mitchell's call, Horn, you take your leave of this site and proceed on to the shuttle pod, leaving behind these damaged fragments of that previous life and on to the next crisis. And that crisis, by varying shuttle pod trips, takes all of you to Starfleet Command. I will ask who would like to be present here. Sharp and Horn would both be here. Questions would be if any of the other players want to insert themselves in any way. Shira, certainly it could be your prerogative to be here. Otherwise, you could be waiting back at your little retreat.
I think she's still processing the news.
Indeed, indeed. Well,
Are you there at all?
Probably not.
Yeah. If you want, you can show later, and we can probably have provided that she's resolved on anything, then there can be a moment in a shuttle pod, or like news of the initial fight can come back in a message from command, and Shira can make an appearance later. But yeah, anybody else want to be around for any reason? I'm sure, I guess it wouldn't make sense for Patel to necessarily be here, but if he heard some errant rumblings about something with the Aegis crew, it would at least be plausible. Likewise for anyone else. Just want to extend the offer.
Yeah, I don't think Patel's there.
All right. Then let us move into the scene here, where Sharp, you are
Furious.
Yep, you are furious, burning with rage, as much as you had about to storm into the offices of the Admiral, as you had the last time. It had gone to mixed effect, and this happening back during the events of the Earthbound episode in Season 1. As you arrive in, you find a very similar setup. Once again, you seem to have been beaten to the punch. This time, however, Admiral Forrest is pounding at the table in a heated argument with General Casey. Mitchell is also off to the side, this time joined by Horn. Casey is right in the midst of saying as you walk in, "I cannot believe you tried to pull a goddamn end run around us before the council reforms had passed. You realize taking something off the board like this, Colonel? Oh, I was going to talk to you later. I suppose
you
we
can talk now if you like, sir," she says. In the make of truthfulness.
Yep. Your gruffness and anger are reciprocated by General Bob Casey. Or, no, it's not Bob Casey. It is a General Casey. I have to remember his proper first name. But yeah. Admiral, before either, it's General George Casey, that is. Before either Casey or Forrest get in, Mitchell says, Captain, I presume that you are here for your own reason.
I heard that my security officer has been reassigned by the Andorian government and Imperial Guard, and I want to, short of, well, permission to speak frankly, sir.
Forrest and Casey just glance at each other, momentarily declaring silently declaring a ceasefire, and Forrest says, "Granted."
I'm certainly going to tear the Imperial Guard apart in order to get my goddamn security officer back, sir. As was trained. She says, looking over at Casey. It's one of my own. I'm not leaving any of them. I'm not letting anyone take her from me, sir. Sirs.
Yep. The two deflate only very slightly from their situation.
Though I assume that there's something else going on.
Oh, there definitely is, Colonel. The little matter of the fact that Operation Arete has been pulled out of the dustbin where we'd left it and is apparently being reenacted.
I see.
Forrest stands up more to a full height and says, "That is the plans that Mako might have sorted out are separate from our own initiatives, and Project Ithaca is go for launch. At least as soon as we have personnel situations completely resolved, which apparently we have another one." This is not welcome news, Colonel, and I don't know how much we can actually do about the business with your lieutenant.
We do have a few favors owed, sir. I think Lieutenant Shira is more than reason to ask for a few of those favors to be pulled.
They're not entirely wrong, but, well, at this point it's probably going to have to take some requests from the Samuels administration, and I don't know how likely they are to pull this when they're trying to get that trade meeting set up, the trade agreement, and possibly even a discussion of a defense pact. As it is, the government's under quite a bit of strain right now.
I might have an idea, sir, if the general might be willing.
The Mako general, the Mako glances to you as seasoned eyes, a little, still a little wary, but curious.
Sir, your protege, Edison, has always taught me that when one does not have something, one gets it. And certainly if one treats it as a useless tool, we are built and trained to make it our own and use it to our best ability. Is that right, sir? Hello? Hello?
Oh, sorry about that. We've definitely pulled a few Starfleet resources out of mothballs when circumstances required it.
Well, certainly that doesn't need to apply to only to Andor, it will apply to Earth, sir. If one may respect the service and talent that is given in.
Forrest glances at you incredulously. I'm not seriously considering. You're talking about using the protocols we set up to actually conscript the lieutenant. You'd be taking an officer from another service, a friendly service, and friendly power, and
she doesn't even once look at Forrest. She looks hard at Casey, the kind of Mako, the soldier, the attack dog that the Casey has built this thing and was these are commandos, and she looks at him straight and hard and is like, just give me the order.
Bold play, Colonel. Go ahead, Horn, if you want to interject.
While they are talking, can I slip out for like 1 or 2 minutes?
Go right ahead.
Because I would like to call Shira.
Very well. Let's let Horn get in that call whilst there's a prolonged discussion going on in there, and you can come back to see the results here.
Yeah, I'm hoping for results.
Okay.
So angry combat chirping.
Actually, let's
I mean, he could have done that already, and he's coming back or something like that. It doesn't have to literally disappear for like 2 minutes.
Well, it's more like I figure Horn and Shira might exchange words unless you want to have this be a DM'd thing, and we do want to check back in with Shira as things are going.
Yeah, no, I wanted to talk with Shira.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
yeah, there could be, while this is happening, something else.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll say that Horn, as you slip out, the last things you hear on this are Casey replying, "Bold play, Colonel, but the Admiral's got a point. We can't go upsetting the local power balance, even if it does leave us a little short-handed for this. And I can promise you one thing: as long as you're trying to redress Arete, I'm not going to back this play either, because I don't like the end run you're trying to pull here." And there's like the beginnings of rambling.
Yeah, you hear muffled voices of the captain, and you go on from there.
Yep, back and forth between Casey, Forrest, and Sharp. But yes, Horn, you step out of the office. We'll move back out onto the grounds of the academy here. And, you slip out your communicator.
Dude.
Yep. So at some distance, let's take this back to the cabin for a moment. Actually, jeez, I'm bouncing around.
I have no idea. You're complete arbiter of the timeline here. I have no idea what happened.
Completely fair. So back in the cabin, I'd say some people might have left at this point, recognizing the bad situation, or now wasn't the time. Romanov is at least nominally around somewhere, but is giving you space, Shira, because I think that everybody wanted to allow you a moment. But you have a few peaceful moments with which to process this, and we can let a little bit of interaction happen before.
She's probably just headed outside just to cool off.
Yeah.
Just leaning up against the cabin, staring off into the woodland, kicking a bit of snow occasionally.
Yeah. As you do, the door opens and out comes your fellow guardsman. "Did manage to get the bottle," he says, shaking the mostly emptied single malt. "I figure that you probably need it more than anyone else right now. I could use a bit of it myself." He takes a little swig.
Thanks. Hey, we said we're going to put our careers first for our relationship, right? Concentrate on going as far as we can in our career, yeah?
That we did.
My career's going to a swamp planet. Is it safe to assume my career is now dead?
If your career bled, then I would be taking it back to the home world and ceremonially dumping it out over a glacier at this point.
Yeah, that's my thoughts too.
Bastard.
Here's a lesson. Yeah, bastard. Here's a lesson for you, Tom. Don't make an enemy of a general. If you see his son being a corrupt shit, don't interfere. Just let him get on with all the Orion piracy. Just let him do that.
That, or don't let the general survive.
Don't let the general survive. Kill the general. I like this thinking.
Yes. Kill the general, he says, handing you the bottle.
She'll drink. Yes. No. Would it be construed as murder? I mean, I don't think he'd decepted an Ushantor, would he?
It's worth a try.
Ushan, no. It could be worth a try.
If all the field officers to survive, why'd it have to be him?
Probably made sure he was far away from any action.
Well, yeah, suffice to say, career isn't going to go much further, and, well, I don't envy the idea of visiting you on that awful mud ball. I'll squint a little bit and just go look over. Is it time for us to just go home? I mean,
could be. I've not seen my family in a long time.
See, that's what I was thinking. We've done our bit for the god. We've done our bit for Andoria, and Andoria's not doing its bit for us right now, are they?
Well, Shulk certainly is making sure the guard is not working for me, and is trying very hard to make sure I'm not working for the guard.
Exactly. I think that's... What do you say? Go back in, wake up Shran, and we'll just give him we'll give him our resignations right there. Now, I know I've got like a third cousin out on a freighter, or we can go back to Party City and
just enjoy ourselves in the baths, and I want to be out there. And she'll wave her hand towards the sky. Not in the nice homely caves.
We'll glance up. Yeah.
But homely caves are better than swamps.
Guess no matter where you see the stars, they never quite lose their luster, he says.
How much have you had to drink?
That bottle was yay high, he says, about a quarter of the way full.
Well, okay.
Yeah, he did not leave you that much.
I think this is a decision that you need to make when all this alcohol has gone out of your body.
Yes, always a sensible one. No rash decisions. The communicator chirps as he emphasizes that statement with a finger wave.
She'll pick up the thing, open communicator. Hello, Andorian Cultural Exchange Party.
Shira, what do you want?
Commander Horn, is that you?
Yes.
What do I want? You called me.
Yes. I'm currently at
what do you want?
headquarters. I'm currently at headquarters, and the colonel is about to go to war. So I want to know from you, what do you want? Because the security officer has been assigned. What do you want?
Oh, that kind of
Do you want to go or not?
Go. Oh, I don't want to go.
Then who have you pissed? Who did you piss off?
General Shilk. Or rather, his son.
Is that a personal feeling, or does he have anything on?
It's very personal. His son was in up to his neck with some Orions. I caught him. There was a bit of a duel. I didn't kill him. I made sure he understood his place. Unfortunately, his father happens to be a high-ranking general in the Imperial Guard and took exception to that. So first, he assigned me to the Aegis, or rather, sent me to Earth and made sure that I was stuck on the Aegis instead of the Columbia. And yeah, and I think he's decided that, I've done such a nice job on the Aegis that I get to enjoy being on a swamp planet now.
Great. Small, petty man in command.
Yeah.
Did you have any contact with him since?
Oh, yes, at least a couple of conversations, at least one where I was very close to insubordination, and one where I joked about the wound I gave his son. Yes.
Do you remember when?
I can find the logs on the Aegis, but it's been a few months since.
Insert clip from
Okay.
Earthbound here.
Okay, Lieutenant, don't make any travel plans yet. Horn out.
Uh,
And just hangs up.
Humans.
On the way back, I would. Who would I call on the Aegis to go through communication logs?
That would be Creighton.
Was it Creighton? Yeah. I would call Creighton and tell him that I need every communication that Shira has received from the last couple of months.
Gotcha. So, yep.
And then I head back in.
All right. As you step back in, tension has grown considerably in the room since then, and it seems that General George Casey has had entirely enough at this point. So he simply says, "Well, just know this, Colonel Sharp. Not only will Mako hold firm on not backing this request, but I am going to see to it that any of the officers I've had training for ship-based tactical operations will not be available for transfer. Good luck finding a Starfleet lackey to fill that place. And you," he says to Forrest, even if you do somehow manage to scrape that together, when the command council reforms come through, we're not having this shit pulled again.
Horn probably goes in and just the eyebrows go up, like slightly alarmed how much it has escalated. And kind of just raises a hand and just, "Gentlemen, please."
Yeah. Casey's going to stop and say, You do what you're going to, Commander. I've got no time for this." And he's going to walk off without paying you much more mind.
Is it worth trying to stop him? Or temper's too high?
Tempers are pretty high right now.
Yeah, I probably just, if he wants to leave, I probably just.
Shoot him now, Felix.
I mean, I'm not sure if I could stop him, but don't make it the attempt. That's what I'm trying to say.
There.
Do it.
Okay.
Sharp just gives a slow shake, like a small shake of her head. She's also equally furious, but she's holding it in pretty tightly.
I realize that tempers are running hot. However, I think we can all agree, even some of us have left, that none of us want to see Lieutenant Shira go. This is making an Andorian internal problem into our problem. This entire division. This is entirely unacceptable.
I agree.
So, we have several ways we can handle this. However, the most important part is this is not a military dispute, as far as I can. This is a personal vendetta of General Green? No.
Shilk.
I am my memory for names. General Schill. Because the lieutenant stumbled upon his son doing something not very honorable with a group of Orions, and I probably tried to give like the captain the tiniest glance.
She doesn't show anything.
Probably wasn't your wife.
Yeah.
No, but that might be a connection we could explore.
Yep.
So, this number one. Number two, moving a decorated member of the Andorian military who has had exemplary service in trying times of the past to a backwater guard post of limited strategic importance. That does not look for good. The Andorian people are looking for win, especially after the terrible war. The one hero that came out of it is sent there.
You do have a point, Horn.
The question is, does this General Shilk do this entirely on his own, or did he convince someone higher up? Is there someone higher than him that we can just talk reasonable with?
Politics amongst military or other branches isn't exactly a new thing. She says, eyeing the admirals and whatnot.
No, but making threatening communication to subordinate, I think even in the Andorian military, frowned upon.
It can be. Though you have given a few suggestions that we might approach.
I'm sure we can stop this. The question is how, and what's the fallout from that. However, this non-cooperation here, this is the wrong way. Pretty sure. I'm no expert, though.
She looks over to the admirals, because they're certainly higher up, and they're still here, right?
Yes.
One of them.
Yeah.
Forrest and Mitchell are here.
Yeah.
Forrest will be the one to voice an opinion here. So, I still don't know that this leaves us a lot of options. I mean, we can carry this as far as we could. As I understand it from recent discussions, General Shilk is very high up now in the Imperial Guard. Evidently, due to the significant loss of both field and staff officers. Terrible thought given the circumstances they find themselves in. He is very well respected and highly relied upon. So, trying to appeal to a higher military contact, or even through the civilian government, will be difficult, especially when Samuels is trying to bank on a broader diplomatic framework to ensure peace and security for Earth. It does also, well, if we try to take any of the evidence that the lieutenant might have about his son, then we would be impugning the reputation of an Imperial Guard general, which would also damage relations.
She nods.
I don't see a lot that I can do for you in this case, unless you
Sir,
want to take
if
the
you-
extreme step of impressment.
Certainly not impressment, but making an offer, as I am sure they now, like any soldier who is probably put into the boonies, is likely thinking about retirement or Not disembarment, out of character. What's it called? Discharge. If I can think about honorable discharge, I am certain that she would be willing to look into the stars and further exploration of such a program, if Starfleet is willing to offer them a commission.
While I'm sure she would appreciate that sentiment, as far as what I've read from her file is regard is quite important. Yeah.
And if the general complains, certainly we can reference the curious relocation of such an individual, which I am sure due to politics he cannot further explain. And if he tries to, I am sure the admiral, she looks over to or the director or admiral, Zach?
It'd be more. I think that Mitchell does technically have the rank of admiral, but I actually do think his proper title would be director.
Yeah,
section chief.
I am sure, and I'm sure that if he tries to press upon or get more outraged, the director could perhaps let him glance at what we know. Sir.
Well, all of this comes down ultimately to Lieutenant Shearer's decision, Forrest replies.
Lieutenant Shearer would very much like to remain in her current position.
Well,
and I think, if I may suggest course of action, if you could, in official capacity, and look at the not commandos, Commando Admiral, the Mako Admiral. If you could express your regret at the General of the Andorian military, and if they might consider this course of action as a formal request, while we, look to the Captain, explore other options that we might have.
Well,
make their request, see what they respond with, and if not, the discharge. And what it would be to the public, it might be a slight controversy, but it'd be mostly aimed at the general. Silk, sirs.
Sure.
Whatever.
I'll put that through. I'll put through what I can and get this coordinated. I want the lieutenant here by the time we have a decision ready. Is that understood?
She looks over to Horn. You have your orders.
Yep.
Grab her.
Yep.
Grab her.
Yep.
A black van drives before the house.
Yep.
Joe, she legitimately says, grab her. I'm like, frick, she's Mako. She doesn't give a shit. Let's direct.
Yeah. Director Mitchell says, we have a little bit of work to do, Horn. Obviously not through the those methods there.
We do indeed. And if anyone could hear his thoughts at the moment, there's this one strain of thought. It's like, how much trouble would I get for blackmailing?
A lot. Yeah. That's why you don't. That's why no one knows.
Well, with that,
it's not how much, it's how much can you avoid.
Yeah.
With that, Director Mitchell will take his leave. Marcus, would you be joining him, or would you stick around for a moment?
Well, Cap told me to grab Shira, so...
Fair enough. So that leaves you for the moment with the Admiral. He sits back a little bit more deflated at this point. The arguments and the multiple crises have been exhausting to him.
Sharp is still young, and she just looks over to the Admiral.
Ugh.
We can still make this work, sir.
Yes,
with or without the Makos.
Window's a bit tight for that, and soon we won't be able to decide much of anything without them. It's been talked about quietly among some in the Command Council, and it's circulating through in the back halls of Parliament, but General Casey's right. The Command Council's about to see a shake-up, and soon Mako will have a majority of the positions on the Council. they'll be in a position to where they can largely shut us out of exploratory and tactical, well, all but exploratory input, and even then that'll give them greater control over personnel decisions. Lucky we're getting this out when we did. We'll be lucky still to keep your lieutenant. I so wanted Starfleet to be able to take the lead out there, but short of the NX program, I'm fearful of the direction that our exploration will take.
I am too. But persistence, stubbornness, and certainly, sir, Starfleet and myself have that in spades, from what I've seen. We can still do the job, and do the job right.
Indeed. You know, when Jonathan told me about your idea, a long-range expedition deep into the stars beyond any place that we've surveyed, and well, with the array of information you've put together, I have to say I was a little shocked. I'm looking forward to seeing what you find out there.
From what I've heard, quite amazing things, and a lot of opportunities for new allies. Ones we desperately need. Peaceful allies, for once. Hopefully.
Whatever you find out in deep space on this expedition of yours, Colonel, I sincerely hope it is. And I wish you luck.
Schnutz. If you excuse me, sir. Yeah. I have a Andorian to impress.
Yeah. And after a few moments, he says, yet a wry smile comes across his face. You know, if she accepts this, then I've got an idea. Definitely bring her by once you have a decision.
Give me an hour, sir.
Okay, so cutting around, Shira, things are obviously in motion, and would you prefer that, obviously we're not going to send the black vans for you, but would Shira be en route to a shuttle pod? Would you guys like to have an in-character discussion about this? I
would like an in-character discussion about this. That'd be kind of cool. Something that's up to Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. Is Shran going to be there?
Shran will at least be around when you go to see Forrest. I do have basically a very short scene on that. The way I'm thinking the flow will be, and first I need to ask, is it okay with you guys if we go just a little bit long? I understand, like, Drone, if you need to bow out or something.
I'm fine going a bit long.
Drone, you've been awesome, by the way. I'm going to miss you, man.
I'm just having fun listening in.
Yeah. Anyone that needs to nod out, do so as you need to. But I was thinking, we can let Sharp and Horn have their if you two want to tag team this, talking to Shira, figure that out. After that, we'll return to the office with the Admiral for one little scene. I think that we'll just cap it off with that. And
I also call in a few of my personal Mako buddies, just in case the Andorians try to, pull her out too. To get the same idea. So
fair enough. They'll be at distance. Okay, let's go back to the cabin then. Excuse me. Here. Some time elapses. I will give you, if you still like, Sharp would obviously wanted to go there. Horn, would you also want to be along?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so shuttle pod flies directly out to the cabin, sets down. There's a bright spotlight. It is late in the evening at this point when this comes through.
Black shuttle.
Yes, properly late. The shuttle pod touches down. Shira, I don't know if you're still outside or if you are in the cabin tending to whoever still remains.
I think she'd be outside and currently is halfway through a hot dog.
Yeah.
looking rather unimpressed.
See
Yeah.
several shuttles show up. Several black shuttles, yeah, just as Felix said.
Yep.
She'll take another bite as it lands, just watching.
Yep.
The brand on the shuttle is from the Franklin.
Yep. Out of one of the shuttles comes.
31 on it.
Yeah, I think the Franklin can only hold like one, if at all.
Oh, can it? I don't know.
It's a
That's why
small
it's so
ship.
weird that there's multiple. Just makes it weirder.
Yep. The Franklin. So yeah, a shuttle from
Shuttle
the
Could just be
Franklin.
one of the shuttles assigned to the
Yeah.
Starfleet headquarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And out while some other figures pop out and kind of man points along the tree line. Sharp and Horn both step out.
Sharp Ashley is wearing winter gear because she knows better.
Yeah, as well.
Lieutenant,
This is I mean, the party's in there. It's supposed to be a nice evening. Just like a nice, quiet evening, boyfriend, best friend, just nice.
no, whatever party you set up, it certainly is spread
I did-
all across the North American coast.
Yeah. So see, next time I just won't give away my vacation spot.
Usually what I do, she says with a wink. Sometimes it works.
You mean that lovely spot in New Zealand?
Yeah. She just says, Eula, we have a question.
What's the question? I might have an answer for you.
How do you feel about retiring?
What? Retiring?
Discharging?
Discharge?
I know.
She'll rub her head a bit and throw the uneaten bit of the hot dog away. Why would the Imperial Guard discharge me?
I'm asking if you want to be discharged from the Imperial Guard. They're not doing much for you. And certainly, look, you're on my crew. You're on my ship. And unless you want to change that, I feel like you've done a lot of good there than the Imperial Guard has in a very long time. I like you to stay on my ship and not in some backwater posts because of some corruption or another that you've spotted.
Yeah. I've wanted to be in the Imperial Guard since I was in my teens, you know.
She nods.
Go out there amongst the stars and protect all my family and friends. Well, I couldn't protect my family and friends, could I? When the war
You did
came,
your-
I was stuck on
You still did.
that little tin can.
And you managed to stop a war from that little toucan.
I did, didn't I?
Look,
Now that bastard is planning to take the stars from me.
so screw him. Join Starfleet. Show every Andorian led by that bastard what a true Imperial Guards woman is. Even if you're not part of it. Make them jealous that you've moved on. Wasted opportunity on the general's part. because he was too much of a, well, what he is.
She'll nod. I like that.
Show
Shove it
Earth
right
what it
in
is
his
to be better.
face. Oh yeah, that too. And the grin comes to her face. How would you get me discharged?
We have a few workarounds. She
However,
opens
I
her
feel
hand.
it's important to point out that this is probably one-way street. If we
Define
go
what-
this route, there's a very good chance that there's no possibility of getting back in the guard,
Not for a while,
regardless what
anyways.
happens.
If that. And yeah, true.
Commander, I'm about to go to work on a planet that is mostly swamp, all humidity, and has got 0 air conditioning. I'm not that bothered if I can't go back. I suspect if I can't go back, that's it. Otherwise, she'll just throw me there anyway, wouldn't he?
There were moments in the Andorian history and as well as for Earth where certain national powers would, on occasion, grab a random ship or random sailor and slap a rank on them and put them on board. Not exactly the most diplomatic way of doing things or honest, but she offers her gloved hand. Want to be conscripted, Eula? Starfleet needs bodies.
She'll stroke her chin. I suspect conscription is gonna prove diplomatic problem for anyone, but what
Or
if
if-
I
Mm-hmm.
apply to join and you just rush it through?
The Admiralty area has a few ideas, but we needed to see whether or not you're interested.
You would also leave behind every connection you have. I kind of looking at the boyfriend, wherever he is, collapsed on the couch somewhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be banished. Let's be clear about that.
You'll certainly remain a social pariah that you have been for a while.
Well,
and in lack of a different target,
yeah.
General Shulk might also decide that the next best target if he can't get.
Well,
Not like it's not. It's she kind of like side eyes Horn. Just one more to the very long line amongst our ship.
I know the type, Colonel. Pity, small-minded man. Too much power.
I am also well aware of such a person, as you know.
Well, worst comes to worst, I just pretend I've broken up with Tom. So pretend. No, I'm breaking up with him ever. But yeah, you know what? I accept. She'll shake Sharp's hand.
Yeah.
Well, it's nothing is final yet. We're just pouring up.
Well, if your boyfriend doesn't mind, let me borrow you for a moment, for an hour or three.
Yeah, everything's fine in there. Romanoff is somewhere inside. I'm sure she'll make sure the place doesn't burn down. Or perhaps she will make the place burn down. I don't know, but it'll be okay. Probably, maybe.
Come on, let's go.
Romanov pops out. He's like, "Hey, Cap! Wait, you're not going anywhere without me. Not. We gotta do the thing here."
Keep the cabin warm. She'll be right back.
I'm coming back because, I'm definitely coming back.
Yep.
But
you
look after Tar. Make sure he doesn't do anything too drunk.
Oh, yeah. She'll shake her fist a little bit and say, "Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna."
Consider it making up for the fact you missed the medal ceremony, and you couldn't find a way of getting me out of the medal ceremony.
Yeah.
She teases.
So.
Sure, we're on the clock. We're on the clock here. She says.
Oh, sorry. I'm still in vacation mode. That's. Do you want me in uniform?
Nope. She says.
Okay,
She just walks.
Yep. There's actually a beep at your communicator, Captain.
She pulls out.
Commander,
the captain.
Commander Sharp, how are we looking?
There has been an approval, sir.
Good.
That's good. I'm bringing it over.
Take a moment. I have something a little more special in mind, and give me a moment. Yes. I have a report at 0900 local time. Local being Pacific. So.
I'll clean her up, sir.
Yes. I'll see you there too, Captain.
Be clean.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Apart from the mustard.
Yeah. She'll just take you to her and Athena's work apartment so you can get cleaned up and sleep.
I mean, you've got a perfectly good cabin there.
Cabin?
But
we got cabin.
I got a cabin and a drunk boyfriend.
Yeah. That's true enough.
In any case, that next morning, Shira, you find yourself at Starfleet headquarters. It is a good bit more brisk, but you at least don't have the glare of cameras. Nonetheless, given the circumstances, I wouldn't be surprised if you were feeling a fair bit warm yourself. You are not alone as well. Tarm has actually joined you to this point. He left with you in the cabin with one of the shuttles. Most of the crew had actually cleared out by the time you had gotten up.
Yeah, shoot them away eventually.
Yep. Tarm, who is doing his best with the hangover as he possibly can. Says, how much have you told him about this? Actually, that's.
I would have. Well, wait for him to wake up. Supplied him with some kind of hangover.
Make sure he's adequately
remedy.
caffeinated.
Yeah. Then I've talked him through the details of this.
So he walks with
or at least what details she knows of.
Yep, walks with you through the hallway.
You're happy? You're happy with it? You're okay with this?
I am happier for that you'll get to advance. Just a little strange. Going from pledging your service from one group to another. It's
very strange, yeah. But
well,
when one dream turns sour, I suppose you need to start working on a new one.
Yes, when one cave collapses, you can carve through another way.
Yeah. So.
Well, we still have some time. Maybe something else best.
Horn decloaks.
Ugh.
Yeah. In all seriousness,
for a diplomatic officer, he's really sneaky.
Yeah.
The voice comes. Yeah.
Tarm will say as you approach the office, well, I suppose this means that your career's not entirely dead, and I guess our deal's back on the table.
I mean, doesn't have to be. We can alter the deal, just a little bit.
Right, it doesn't alter any further.
I mean, there's 2 of us. We need 4 for a marriage. So maybe we should start dating other people and see if we can get them in.
Way this galaxy is going, I rather think you're right. These times are too perilous not to take account of everything, not to venture out and take the opportunities while you can.
Plus, you've got a choice of every Andorian in the Imperial Guard if you want. And civilians, war hero and everything.
We'll see how it goes.
Are you okay if I end up dating an alien?
Just don't bring back a Vulcan. I don't think either of us will be able to explain that.
No Vulcans, nothing to do with Vulcans, anything from that area, no Vulcans.
No. Mild speciesism aside, he reaches out to take your hand.
She'll hold his.
With a firm grasp will say, well, let's see what they have in mind.
Yes.
And you are guided to Admiral Forrest's office, where as you step in, you come across this scene here, where officers and former crew of the Aegis have gathered around. At least one face you don't actually recognize, a Denobulin who is, I guess, just happy to be here right now.
And it's that guy, yes.
Yeah.
Him. Yes.
And even a dean from the from Starfleet Academy has come to join you, as well as a certain new military attaché. Oh. Lieutenant Eula Shira, it's good to finally meet you, Forrest says.
Thank you, Admiral. Pleasure to meet you.
Yes. Well, he puts a finger to his lips. That's not entirely correct for your assignment. Rises from the table. Perhaps adequate as a simple armory officer, but with the distance that Aegis will be going and for its new exploratory services, I happen to know, after speaking with the captain, that there is need for a new executive officer, and at that rank, well, simply won't do. He nods to you, Sharp.
She starts approaching, pulls out a small box and opens it to reveal 3 chevrons. Black.
Lieutenant Eula Shira, I hereby promote you to the rank of Lieutenant Commander, with all the rights and privileges that may come. Welcome to Starfleet.
Thank you.
Puts the pips on Shira's uniform. Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
She'll grin happily, and antenna up and perky.
Yep. Shran, stone-faced as ever, comes up and says, on behalf of the Andorian Imperial Guard and the Imperial Government, I have been asked to relay a protest on their behalf that they consider this quite out of the ordinary. That said, to hell with them. Good luck out there.
Thank you, sir. It's gonna be an adventure.
And that adventure lies out before all of you, or at least those of you who will be venturing out into the deep of space. And that, as the Aegis will in later days set off from its moorings and out into the unknown, will be where we follow up later. So for those of you joining us here in the archive, this is where we leave off. Thank you for coming in for our premiere episode of Season 2. I do want to offer the one parting word now to our longtime executive officer who had to bow out here. I'm sure that he will see this later. But to Drone, we've had I have to say, he has been one of the finest players I've had in this group or any and he has always brought much. The seat at my digital table is certainly always open, and I am just very glad all of you... I'm very glad everybody has joined me, but I want to single out the mention of him, of course. So, yeah.
Just wait for the Starfleet Academy spin-off show with Patel.
Yes, that'll be fun. And also, of course, a welcome to Peter, our newest officer, as Xanter. I know we didn't get much with you today, but we'll...
Oh, I'm just happy to join in.
Yeah, I think that we will be happy to see our new Denobulan character in action. So, until then, everybody have a good rest of your day, and this is where we'll leave off.